Well, South Africa's weekend COVID-19 vaccination campaign has got an early boost from the 18 to 34-year-olds. 64,614 vaccine doses were administered in the 24 hours to Saturday evening. That's more than double the figure from the same time last week. Discovery Health is one of the groups working with government to get the doses in people's arms as soon as possible. Let's get an update from the group then and bring in Dr. Ronald Whelan. Dr. Whelan, afternoon. Grateful for your time on Newsfeed PM. Have you seen busier centres since Friday?
We've certainly seen massively busier centres on Friday. In fact, our volumes are up across Discovery Health sites by almost 100% on Friday. Nationally, the vaccinations are up by about 50%. So significant volumes and lots of excitement amongst the 18 to 35-year-olds. So very, very exciting for everyone. And certainly us at Discovery, we love welcoming the youth to our vaccination sites.
And I know you, as a private medical group, a medical aid group, rely on the state, the government, to provide you with COVID-19 doses. Are you getting enough supply?
Yeah, we've got more than enough supply at the moment. So we went through the first 3 months of the program where there were some supply constraints. Now in August, there's certainly no supply constraints. In fact, South Africa is scheduled to receive close on 18 million doses of vaccine during the course of August, which is a significant quantity. So no constraints at all across Discovery sites and indeed private sites and public sites. Encourage everyone to drop in and get vaccinated. Certainly more than enough stock on hand.
And there are still a lot of questions from South Africans about whether they should be vaccinated for COVID-19. Discussions still ongoing about efficacy, for example. Some people very worried about side effects. Are you dealing with a lot of that from your client base?
Yeah, certainly. There's certainly some concerns across the landscape. I think the first thing worth mentioning is that over 10.5 million vaccines have been delivered in South Africa already. So 10.5 million people have rolled up their sleeves to get vaccinated. 5 million of those have already been fully vaccinated. So there's certainly a lot of impetus across the program. There are certain folks who still remain a little bit on the fence and a little bit hesitant, as you rightly mentioned. The main reason we're finding is the concern over side effects. Discovery Health has done a significant analysis on side effects, which has proved quite interesting. In fact, we found that about 5% of people experience some side effects. That's about 1 in 20 people. What's reassuring about that is most of the side effects, by far, about 90% of the side effects are very mild side effects. So a little bit of pain and inflammation, but nothing more severe than that. And when one considers, when you go for the flu jab, you also get some side effects. In fact, most medications also have side effects. And then I think there's some concerns and some myths doing around the vaccines causing infertility. I want to reassure your viewers that the vaccine certainly doesn't cause infertility. It doesn't alter your DNA. These vaccines have been developed by leading scientists globally and some of the most reputable companies globally. In fact, globally, we've now had 4.6 billion doses of vaccine delivered with very, very minor side effects, and they're certainly showing good efficacy of the vaccine as well.
I'm interested to get your thoughts on something I was discussing with the Western Cape Health MEC, my friend Chimbombo, yesterday, and that was about the eagerness that we're seeing now among 18 to 34-year-olds. It was very much the same when 35 to 49-year-olds were allowed to get vaccinated, but it quickly began to slow down. How do we keep momentum going?
Well, I like to think of this 18 to 35-year-old group as a very progressive group, very knowledgeable and very fast thinkers and willing to roll up their sleeves. So I'm quite excited about them. I think what we're also going to see, and hopefully so within the 18 to 35 group, is them mobilizing the rest of the population to get vaccinated. It's a very big group, I think you're worth mentioning. So there's about 18 million people in South Africa aged 18 to 35. We've had good registration uptake in the first day or two. About 800,000 people have already been registered across the Western Cape. 200,000 18 to 35-year-olds are registered. That's about 10% of the population, the 18 to 35 in the Western Cape. Nationally, about 5% of the 18 to 35 is already registered. I'm quietly confident and optimistic. I think in addition to that, we're now open to all adults across South Africa, so there's no confusion anymore around which age groups are eligible. So full steam ahead on the program now.
And if I'm right, you vaccinate even people who aren't Discovery Medical Aid customers, correct?
Absolutely. Yes. So we vaccinate non-Discovery members, as well as obviously Discovery members. Also, importantly, worth mentioning is we vaccinate people without medical aid as well. So if you don't have a medical aid, you're more than welcome to drop in at a Discovery site. We run most of our sites on a booking basis. We will accommodate you if we've got space, even if you don't have a medical aid. So more than welcome to drop into any one of the Discovery sites. And indeed, I think you're worth mentioning, all private sites across the system, whether they're the pharmacy groups or the other medical scheme administrators, all private sites across the system are also open to uninsured individuals.
And just finally, you touched on it briefly, the issue of walk-ins. If I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying, look, it's best if you're going to try and get vaccinated at this Discovery Centre to register online, and then only if there's space will a walk-in be accepted. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll certainly do our best to accommodate you. We are able to accommodate walk-ins at our big sites across Discovery. So we have a big site at Cape Town International Convention Centre, Gallagher Convention Centre, Park Square in KZN, and then one Discovery Place. At the bigger sites, it's easier to accommodate walk-ins. What we'll typically do is try and slot you into one of the available slots. And there's a very simple reason for that. What we've got to be cautious of during these COVID times is we've got to make sure that everyone is safe and that everyone has a very safe and streamlined experience at our vaccination sites. We'll certainly do our best to accommodate you. So feel free to either make a booking through the Discovery Vaccination Navigator or arrive at one of our large sites, and we'll certainly try and find a slot for you.
Dr. Ronald Whelan from the Discovery Group. Good to speak to you, sir. Thank you on the Sunday.